Hello, and welcome back to another edition of Between the T's, the knowledge sharing program from Texas Bank and Trust. I'm your host, Karen Partee. You know, for some of us, retirement may feel like a lifetime away. For others, it may be approaching faster than we think. The real question that we all must consider is, are we ready for it? More importantly, what does ready truly look like, especially in a world where the basic cost of living can fluctuate rapidly? Well, today we are joined by Bonni Kids, Senior Vice President and Retirement Plan Services Manager in the Trust and Investment Division of Texas Bank and Trust. Bonnie's going to help us unpack some of the expectations and realities that we may all face as retirement approaches. Welcome, Bonni.
Hi, Karen.
Thank you for joining us today.
Yes.
Well, I want to start off with this because seemingly something we don't really think about when we approach retirement or we get into retirement, that sudden shift in our lifestyle. You know, one day I'm working at my job, getting a regular income, and the next day I wake up and it's 8 a.m. and I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, and I've usually been sitting at my desk. You know, there's a lot of mental anxiety that goes along with that, but there are a lot of financial implications as well. Help us make sense of those financial realities that we might face in retirement.
Okay. Well, as you mentioned, there's a big change as far as you won't be getting up early in the morning to go to work. But there's also a big change because you won't have that regular paycheck that you've had all your working career. So it's very important to make some plans ahead of time so that you have an idea of how much your retirement income from Social Security and from your investments will be. When we get to retirement, even though we don't have that regular income, we still have those expenses.
Absolutely.
Food, housing, transportation, all those expenses continue even though our paycheck doesn't continue.
Well, and that can build some of the stress with that. How do we minimize that? How can we plan ahead to make that shift and take it with a little more confidence?
Well, I think the key there is planning ahead. What I recommend is that people go online to ssa.gov, create their account, and look at what their retirement benefits from Social Security will be. You'll see that it depends on the age that you begin drawing Social Security. A lot of times people assume that they want to retire at age 62 because that's the earliest that they can start drawing their money. But if they do begin drawing Social Security at age 62, it's a much less amount. For most people, for instance, for myself, normal retirement age is age 67. It's based on your birth year. And so at age 67, that's normal retirement age, and so that would be your full benefit. But if your health is still good and you're still able to work, then you may want to delay retiring at all. The longer you delay, the higher the monthly benefit from Social Security. So if you work past age 67, each year that you work past age 67, there's an 8% increase in the monthly amount that you receive from Social Security. If we all had a crystal ball and knew what our life expectancy was, we'd all know exactly when to start drawing our Social Security. But we don't know that. So I just advise to plan ahead.
Along those lines, because we don't know how long we'll live, are you seeing trends, though, in downsizing as a way to save as people near retirement?
You know, I think there is that trend. Some of the tiny homes and things like that, I think, have made people realize that they really probably don't need their larger homes that they had as they were raising their family. And so that is a way that they can decrease their expenses and put aside more money for their retirement.
I also know there's another element of retirement that many people may not be considering, and that's the cost of insurance, particularly long-term care insurance. Can you briefly tell us the benefits of maybe considering that as an option as part of your planning?
You know, that is a very specific type of insurance. The longer we live, the higher the possibility that we're going to need some type of long-term care. And so that is something that I do recommend that people look into to see if the cost warrants them purchasing a policy for such a need.
Well, and I know you had talked about we are still going to have our lifestyle expenses even in retirement. That's not going to change, considering if we stay in the home that we've been in while we worked. You know, so that brings to mind that we probably still need to be doing a budget now that we seemingly are going to be on a fixed income. What are the benefits of still having that budget in retirement?
Well, I think that the budget is even more important as you rely on your fixed income at that point. And so I think we need to all start out by what can we expect from Social Security, what can we expect, what kind of income can we expect from our investments, and then we need to plan accordingly, and maybe we need to do away with some of the things that are non-essential. But that's the hard part. But a budget really, we shouldn't look at it as something that just limits us, but it does empower us and give us confidence to know that when we do set aside money for certain things, that it will be there when we need it.
Well, one of the things I mentioned at the beginning is, some of us see retirement as a lifetime away, particularly as young people coming out of college, entering the career for the first time. What do you say to those young people about planning ahead for something that seemingly is years away?
I always encourage people to get started as early as possible saving for retirement, because the earlier they start, the less money they'll actually have to put in themselves because of compounding. As they invest over the long term, their investments gain money, and so it just works in their benefit. So particularly when we're going out and meeting with people at places of employment, we encourage those young people to participate in those retirement plans.
Well, excellent. Well, thank you, Bonni. We appreciate you joining us today, sharing just a little bit of your knowledge on a very important topic for all of us.
Yes, thank you.
And that is all the time we have for this edition of Between the T's. We certainly want to thank our guest, Bonni Kids, for being with us today. And if you have any additional questions about your own retirement plan, please consult your preferred retirement plan services professional or financial planner regarding your personal accounts. As a reminder, investment products are not a deposit or obligation of Texas Bank and Trust. They are not guaranteed by Texas Bank and Trust, not insured by the FDIC or any other federal government agency, and may go down in value. We hope you will join us again to learn how you can take control of your financial world. Until then, remember that knowledge is power when it's shared between the T's. I'm Karen Partee. Thanks for watching.